If your seedlings are turning yellow and looking stressed like this, you may be about to lose them. And the reason might not be water or lack of sunlight. It could be something most beginning gardeners don't realize. Hey everyone, if you're new here, I'm sharing simple ways to help you grow your garden, especially if you're just getting started. Today we're going to talk about something that can make or break your seedlings, uppotting. Some of my seedlings, especially my pumpkins and squash, are starting to show signs of stress. They're growing fast, but they're running out of space. Today I'm going to talk about why this happens, when to uppot, and how to do it the right way. Uppotting simply means to move your seedlings to a larger pot. So you move them up to a bigger pot. They are currently in these greenstock 6 tray cells, and I'm going to move them into these bigger 3-inch cells. When seedlings stay too long in a small container, their roots get tangled, nutrients run out, growth slows down. Here are a few signs that your seedlings are running out of space. The leaves start to turn yellow. You see that growth stalls. They started growing pretty quickly and then all of a sudden kind of flatlined. Roots start coming out of the bottom of the pot. Soil starts drying out really quickly and the plants look kind of crowded. And this is especially important to think about with fast growing seedlings like pumpkins and squash. These plants grow quickly and need more space earlier on than others. If seedlings stay in a small container for too long, their roots will become root bound, so it'll start getting tangled up in the pot. They'll get stressed out and they won't transplant well. So let's go step by step through the process of uppotting these. It's pretty simple. Choose the container you're going to use. These are the next larger size container I have. Lightly water your seedlings. So what I did was sit them in a to-go container filled with water because the green stock seed starting trays sit perfectly in them. They're the perfect size. So I moistened them and I also moistened the soil in the pot so that transplanting is easier. A seedling is going to be less stressed if the soil is moist. Now I've got some soil in here. These are butternut squash. This one is my best in the corner here. You can see the cotyledons are starting to yellow. That is normal. They will yellow and fall off. I'm going to gently take this, and you can see the roots are starting to come out of the bottom. And we're going to gently place them in here. And add soil to the sides. Now, you know I get creative. If you've watched my channel, I get creative. I'm using a plastic spoon to fill in the gaps. I find that it works easier when I'm indoors and keeps things relatively neat. I am in my living room, so I don't want it to be too messy. And we are just simply going to fill the gaps with the seed starting mix. And once we have it filled up, we're going to press gently down to ensure that there are no air gaps. You'll notice when I took the seedling out of the tray, I did my best to not touch the roots. Squash do not like their roots to be disturbed. So when you transplant your squash or your pumpkins, you want to be really careful not to touch the roots. The least you handle them, the better. All right, this looks good. So I'm going to just push down This looks lovely. Now it's got plenty of room, and I am going to water it in a little bit, just a tad, because the soil is already moist. I try to have mason jars with water here at the grow station because that way I don't need to be trekking through the house with the plants. They can stay here and I just bring water to them. So there you have it. What I will do, there's still water in here. I'm going to sit it in here, let it soak up some more water, and then I'm going to up pot another one. After up potting, your seedlings are going to have a lot more space to grow. They'll have access to more nutrients, and they'll be able to get healthier and stronger. Now, I use a seed starting mix, so there's not a lot of nutrients in here. I do add a diluted water-soluble fertilizer into the water when I water the plants. And I'll do that until they head outside. If you're a beginner and you haven't had a lot of experience starting plants from seed or handling seedlings, just keep in mind when your plants start yellowing and getting stressed, if you know you've watered them enough and they have enough sunlight, it is most likely because they are ready to be up potted. And remember, fast growing plants like squash and pumpkins will most likely need to be up potted before some of your other plants. So to recap, yellow leaves can be a sign of stress. Small containers limit growth, and up potting is a great way to give your plants more space and allow them to have room to grow strong and healthy. Keep in mind that fast-growing plants, like squash and pumpkins, need a little bit of extra love and attention than some of your other plants may. So let me know in the comments, have any of your seedlings started looking stressed out? Are you seeing any yellowing or stunted growth? Let me know. And also, what are you growing right now? What kind of seedlings do you have going? I would love to hear from you in the comments. If you're following along in this seed starting series that I'm doing, feel free to like and subscribe, check out a few more videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Happy gardening, everyone.